All right, Jesse on Fire. Welcome back to the channel. So obviously an incredible tragedy in the MMA world today. Marvin Vettori came out and reported that his brother died in a house fire last night. I'm sorry, an apartment fire last night. And the details are coming out, and we're going to talk about what has come out about the specifics around the situation, and obviously, incredibly, deeply condolences go out to Marvin Vettori and the rest of his family and anybody who was friends with his brother as well. Well, obviously, we're going to get much more in detail in that story. And then we're going to talk about the Conor McGregor and Paddy Pimblett situation because, listen, people are talking about this as if it's kind of like this flippant little thing that's going back and forth, whatever. This is a very real fight, for the record, very real. Okay, and I'll tell you exactly what I heard and what's going on there. But we'll start with the Marvin Vettori story, and we're going to do that right now. So I woke up this morning and immediately heard the news about this, and it's his younger brother. I have a younger brother, very, very similar age. As a matter of fact, they might be the exact same age difference. Oh, wow, no. They were even closer in age. Wow. They were one or 1.5 years apart. I mean, obviously, they can't be 1 year. They're probably pretty close to my daughter's age difference, which are my youngest two are about 18 months apart. It's hard to get, 30 and 31. That is rare to be that close in age. That's uncommon, and that just makes it that much worse. Siblings who are that close in age are so close because they do everything together growing up. Everything together. They're in school together. They're in sports together. In many cases, they're on the same teams. They are inseparable. And it sounds like that's the kind of relationship that these two had. And again, I just, my heart goes out to Marvin and to the rest of his family. And, we'll talk a little bit about what happened here specifically. So Patrick Vettori, the brother of current UFC middleweight fighter Marvin Vettori, has passed away at the age of 30 following a house fire in Mezzacarona, Italy. I didn't realize Marvin was so young as a fighter also, just as a side note. 31 is young, man. He's got a good set of years in front of him. Anyway, neither here nor there. So, wow, he doesn't look like 1 year apart in this picture, though. He looks way bigger than him. That's actually, you know what? My daughters are, so my middle is 9 and my youngest is 7. My youngest will turn 8 before my middle turns 10. So there will be about 5 months where they're technically, 8 and 9 like them. And Genevieve is way bigger than Georgia. She's also incredibly protective of her and incredibly close with her. And like on Saturday before her final match, I was like, you should just pretend that this girl, in your mind, pretend that your opponent wants to hurt your little sister. I queued this up just to show you how that went. Whoops. Close. Fast sub. Probably would have been faster if she would have actually had her grips in place when she went to pull guard instead of just flying on her back. But nonetheless, I have no idea if that actually worked, but she is super protective of Georgia. Man, this story just like breaks my heart. Let's just look at this real quick. This is just like, fuck, dude. Look at Marvin's dad, dude. What a stud. What a stud, man. He's just like that. That's exactly how I would envision Marvin Vettori's dad, just an Italian who produced Marvin Vettori. That's exactly how I would have envisioned him. Because this is the thing that you have to understand about, fighters. Someone has to bring them to the gym. Someone is going to choose that life for them. They have to choose, okay, this kid is wired for combat. It would be a good use of my time, and it would be great parenting to put them in a position to focus that energy in a positive direction and potentially make something of themselves. And that's awesome. And man, oh my God. I didn't even think about, he must be, this father right here must be like, this is the worst day of his life. This is the worst day of his life. Fuck, dude. Parents are not supposed to live longer than their kids. You know, like they're just not. They're just not supposed to. It's like anyway. Look at these two, man. Yep. They're probably like 20 and 21 right there. Man, dude, that is just an outright. And there's his dad again. What a fucking tragedy, dude. So let me tell you what the reports are of what happened here, and then we'll go into what Marvin's post was. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen that. But so according to reports, emergency personnel were called after neighbors spotted smoke from Patrick's apartment. Sadly, by the time they arrived, he had already died due to smoke inhalation. And here's that report. But apparently there is... This is not in English, so I can't tell you exactly what it says. The thing that is like, that's just like kind of like bizarre about the story is it's an apartment. You would think that he would be able to get out, like he's like an athletic, capable guy. I wonder if he was asleep or something. You know what I mean? That's super scary. You're asleep, you wake up and you're, the house or your apartment is engulfed in flames, or you just die in your sleep. You're sleeping and you start inhaling smoke. Like that stuff will knock you off. Anyway, let's get into what Marvin said in his post. Again, I'm very sorry to these guys. And I'm pretty sure that the translation of this post is in this article, but so yeah, it is. So in an emotional tribute. Actually, I think they're not translating it right there. So you got to go to Instagram, and I'll do that right here. Here we go. All right. So I'll read it to you guys. So it says, you were and always will be my number one, my little brother. You left a void that cannot be filled. I will love you until my last breath. I'm sorry, that's not being. You were the smartest of the two. You were creating a wonderful future for yourself, and I can't get over it. It is said that Jesus calls back the most beautiful souls prematurely to have them with him in heaven. And then I hope that you are with him, looking and watching over us with that goodness that has always set you apart. It's okay. I'm sorry. It's not translating all of it, but here, so it says, in an emotional tribute on Instagram, he said, he left a void that cannot be filled. I will love you till my last breath. I don't think I will ever be the same after today because maybe I never told you, but you have always been my strength. You were the smartest of the two. You were creating a wonderful future for you and yourself, and I can't get over it. And what's crazy too is his little brother was running for office in city government. So this is that post right here. I've decided to run for office in the next municipal elections with the Civica per Messic Corona list because I want to give my personal contribution to the community. I believe it is important that young people have a voice in the decisions that are made for our country. I want to bring my energy and experience to represent our ideas within the administration. If you also believe in the strength of our generation, support me by writing my name next to the symbol for the civic list for Mesa Corona of the mayor, Mattia Hauser. Those two are, dude, these are go-getters, man. Like, Marvin Vettori, he's not, getting a title shot next week, but he's clearly achieved a lot already at age 31. To be one of the top 5-6 best things at anything in the world is such an astronomical achievement. It's hard to put it into words, and that is certainly what he's done as 185-pound bear, mixed martial arts fighters. All right, let's move over to Paddy and Conor McGregor and talk about this fight, because as much as everybody's Conor's never going to fight again. Dude, he's going to fight again. Yeah, like he's going to fight again. When, where, who is TBD, but this is a really good option. And they are, UFC's going to offer him this fight. I can absolutely guarantee you that. Absolutely 100% guarantee you UFC is going to offer Conor McGregor the Paddy Pimblett fight. So let's listen to this real quick, and then we'll talk more about it.
But as I say, anyone can get it. All the names I mentioned. And even McGregor putting money on Chandler to win, lad. Like, the Irish Scouse connection, lad, he's meant to back me. And he never. So, if he wants it, he'll get Mufti as well.
That surprised you?
Yeah, and I didn't think he'd go against me. Like, to be honest, I thought he'd back me, not back Chandler. But one of them, innit?
I mean, first of all, the reason he's backing Chandler is because he was supposed to fight Chandler. So he needs to make it, like he's like, if Chandler was set to fight me, that obviously means he's the best guy because Chandler, it's just, he's just connected to Conor. That's why he was, obviously going to pick Chandler. But man, that's a tough matchup for Conor McGregor. And I'll tell you exactly why. It's a tough matchup for Paddy though, too. It depends on who Conor is now. There's absolutely no way to know. Okay. In July, it will have been 4 fucking years since Conor's fought. 4 years. So keep in mind, I don't care who they are. I don't care if it is the most credible voice in the history of combat sports. Whenever Conor does come back and fight, if anyone is standing by their pick confidently, they are smoking crack, and they should absolutely, if they really want to prove their credibility, that's how they do it. They tell you they have no idea. Because no one can know. Because you haven't seen Conor fight in 4 years. Okay? Like, the likelihood that Conor's going to come back better is extraordinarily unlikely. Bottom line. He hasn't been in 4 years. I mean, it's not impossible, but it is extremely unlikely. Because, again, he's gotten 4 years older. He hasn't fought. He has a bionic leg. It's like, the correct play for Conor is to put him in and give him a tune-up fight. And I mean like a real tune-up fight. Okay? Shunji Ribeiro, I just watched that. My jiu-jitsu sensei, one of the most winning jiu-jitsu champions of all time. He's won ADCC, but he's won IJJF World Championship. I think he has like 10 world championships and in multiple generations. Okay? He's coming back and he's fighting on Saturday in a Who's Number One fight. And the way that he started his comeback was he did Europeans and he did it at Masters 3 because why? He's just getting back into competition, wants to make sure that he's going to win. I mean, obviously, he walked through everybody. It was, he put 2 people unconscious. And I mean, it was just ridiculously, it was bordering on unfair how easy it was for him to walk through those guys. He did the Austin Open, Masters 2, and that's just the age group, right? Like he's, Masters 3 is his actual age group. And then now he's, moving into, the top level guys at adult again, but he's doing it in a way because that's a smart way for a fighter to re-enter if they've been out for a while. He's been out for a few years. So like with Conor McGregor, I mean, it's no different. Like you should give him fights to get him used to competing again so that you can ensure he's going to win. It's not like he's never going to fight the top guys again, but like, ease him into it. The only reason I'm even talking about the Paddy Pimblett fight, because I already know the UFC doesn't do that. They don't do that. They're not going to do that. They're going to have him fight Paddy Pimblett or someone like that. Because what they're thinking is, if we even get Conor back, we're going to get him for like one fight. And who is someone that we can turn into a megastar when they beat Conor McGregor? Okay? Like they're trying to replace his value. You want to know who the best possible person that you could take Conor McGregor's shine and put it on with Conor's last showing in the UFC? Paddy. Okay? That's how the UFC thinks. I want to make that perfectly clear. That is one of the number one strategic matchup, strategies that they use is if we only have a handful of fights left with a guy, who can we give their shine to? Michael Chandler is a perfect example of the same thing. It's not exactly the same because with Michael Chandler, they still think Chandler has a potential title run. And if he beats Paddy Pimblett, that puts him up there at the end. But if Paddy wins, it's like, okay, now this guy's for real. And if he fought Conor McGregor in his next fight and he wins by stoppage, he's a megastar. I'm talking, he's the only person. Okay, Paddy Pimblett is the only person in the UFC where if he was able to knock out Conor, he can be as big as Conor. There's no one else. Okay, there's no one else who could be as big of a star as Conor. There isn't. No one at 55, no one at 70. There's no one there who could attain for real Conor level superstardom other than Paddy. Okay? That's why Paddy is the perfect matchup for Conor, is because the upside for the organization is that big. That's why I think for sure they're going to offer Conor that fight. Absolutely for sure. And if Conor's smart, he'll take that fight. Because if he beats Paddy, he's right back in the mix also. And here's the other thing. Okay. Conor has a really uphill battle against any of the top 5 guys right now, coming back off of the layoff that he's had. Paddy, he at the very least has one major advantage, and that is that Paddy does go kind of, straightforward, in and out, like he'll circle, he says circle some, but if he moves forward with his hands, he is I know he makes himself long, but Conor can slip and he can land real heavy on Paddy. On the feet, Conor has a great chance of knocking out Paddy. If Paddy gets a hold of Conor, that's a wrap, son. Okay? And it's honestly, again, there's no way to know what Conor is anymore. But Conor certainly can knock out Paddy if he is even, if he's in the same realm of where he was prior, for sure. If you go watch him in the Dustin Poirier fight, like before he jumped the Gilly, and then just compare his speed and power to Paddy's, which I have said, Paddy's legit on the feet now. He's legit across the board. He is one of the top guys in the world. But I'm telling you, go look at the beginning of the Conor and Dustin fight from 2021 and just look at the speed that Conor throws kicks with. You'll be like, okay, Conor was always and it will always be super legit, like crazy good on the feet. It's just a Poirier, you can't knock him out, and eventually he's going to, Conor's weakness is longevity over the length of the fight, and Dustin Poirier's fucking biggest strength is you can't break him ever. He cannot be broken. He is an unbreakable guy. You have to knock him unconscious, which is very hard to do at 55, and if you can't do that, and you make it in the 3rd round, and you're Conor McGregor against Dustin, he's gonna beat you, dude. And that's not even what happened in the last 2 times they fought. Dustin just beat him in the 2nd round in the first one, and then obviously Conor's leg broke in the other one. But Paddy, he looked fresh in the 3rd round, but Conor could knock out Paddy. But again, the reason they'll make this fight is because of the payoff to the organization in the event that Paddy beat Conor.
Paddy over here, pulling it. What do you plan on saying to him the next time you see him?
I don't know if I'll ever see him. You never know. I say to him, what happened there, lads? Fucking hell. The Irish Scouse connection, you meant to back me, but you went for the Yank instead. But, it's one of them. If he ever wants to come back, I'll be here waiting.
And one more from me.
Yeah. So again, there is not a fight that makes more sense than Paddy versus Conor. Bottom line. But I don't think Conor's going to come back. He should, but he won't. Anyway, that's what I got for today. Again, condolences to Marvin Vettori, and congratulations, Paddy Pimblett. And Conor, I will be more excited than anyone on earth the second that you sign a bout agreement. Even more excited when I show up that night to watch it live, assuming that you make it to the octagon. All right, guys. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye-bye.